Hello guys, thanks for coming over from, oh hold on, I missed it, from Bigfoot Jorgensen. I hope I said that right. I think you guys were talking about map making, right? I hope you guys have been having fun. Thank you for the follows, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm quiet. Hold on. My neighbor was mowing last time I was streaming, so I turned my mic way down. Is that better? Maybe. Thank you for coming to my stream. This is going to be the bullet journaling, productivity and writing workshop. There is also currently right now happening Sable Aradia is doing traditional versus indie publishing. Robson Carr is also hosting a panel on creating villains, and then of course author Brian Liu is still doing his chill and chat until the next hour. So if you'd rather be somewhere else, you can do events now to get those links. Otherwise, we're just going to dive into it. This is just me, so I really appreciate some interaction in the chat. It's always harder to do a workshop by yourself at a convention. Hey, Try Red Facts, how are you? Can you guys hear me okay now? Twig said I was a little bit quiet, so let me know. Let's just jump into it. I am going to turn my music down a little bit because it's like blaring in my ear. Come on. Okay. I always have music in the background whenever I do writing or productivity stuff, just because for me, it's okay. Hold on. I'm trying to see where my actual Is that better? Are we better now? It looks like I am spiking up to the right place now. If I'm still quiet, let me know, and I'll turn up a little bit more. Anyway. Yay, okay, cool. Cool. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, there was a lot of noise last time I was streaming, and I forgot to turn my mic back up. Okay. Anyway. Good, okay. So this is going to be part presentation, part workshop. I wasn't sure how much people would know about bullet journaling whenever I dived into it, so I did a little bit of like a one-on-one crash course presentation first. Yes, I have seen some of that. So let's dive into it. If some of this is a little, if you guys have questions or I'm going too fast, please let me know. I tend to talk very quickly, and I tend to just assume people know what I'm talking about, which is a habit I'm trying to break. But we are actually going to pop the chat out so that I can see it on the other screen. Sorry guys, 1 second. Should have done that before. Okay. Alrighty, so what is bullet journaling? Well, let me tell you. I will let you know. Here's a very brief outline of what we're going to be doing today. You can tell that I do presentations for my work because, you know, I always have an outline. Firstly of all, who am I? I go by Annabellewrites. Anna is my first name, Belle's my middle name, so I'm Anna. You can refer to me as Anna. My pronouns are he, she, my pronouns are not he, she. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a writer, and I also do a bit of variety streaming on Twitch. I do everything from my weekly planner spread, which is what I usually do on Sundays, And then on Tuesdays I do writing sprints, and then Thursdays are my like fun days. I play, right now I'm playing Breath of the Wild. I just defeated Ganon last week and it was really fun. And I think I'm going to do the DLCs next. So that is what I do. As far as my background goes, I have a degree in creative writing. I have both a master's and a bachelor's in creative writing. That was basically my whole education was writing. My current work is, I'm currently working on a, oh yay! Oh, I can't read that one. It's too low. Annabellewrites. I think if that's wrong, let me know. That it's. I have my chat in dark mode, so that's kind of hard for me to see. Anyway, I'm working on my debut novel. It is a dystopian novel where the world is centered around your natural beauty. And you know, that's obviously not a good way to like run the world. So there's a rebellion. I call it the Beautiful Rebellion because I'm hilarious. And I love to joke that I love to procrastinate with productivity tools. I'm always trying something new and I'm always trying to find a new system that works for me. But the good news is I have kind of found my way. So very briefly, for those of you who do not know, a bullet journal is, you can see an example on the bottom corner there. A bullet journal is just a notebook. It's usually a dot grid notebook. And literally it's a notebook and a pen, and you can bullet journal. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need any supplies. I personally like a ruler. Hey, Coffee Quills, how are you? But the bullet journal method itself was created by writer Carol. He, of course, you know, writing in a notebook and writing to-do lists was not a new thing, but he created a way to organize it to, and he created a method of detailing, a method of logging that blew up on the internet, as things do. And so his method has become the most popular, and it has gone from a simple pen and paper to a very elaborate thing. There with you on the love of trying new tools for productivity. Yes, Shy Red Fox, that is exactly, yeah, I do it too often. It's a little bit, it's a little much. Annabellewrites says productivity tools never worked for me worked for more than maybe half a year for me, but the nice thing about bullet journals is when it stops working, I just tweak the bullet journal instead of needing to find a whole new system. Yes, that's one thing that I'll talk about later. I love that you can customize it to whatever you want it to be. So bullet journaling is essentially just a rapid log form of taking notes. Instead of writing out full sentences, you just use bullets, and you can use bullets to signify different things. It is very much what you make it. It is not any one thing. So you can see in this picture that I pulled from Instagram, she's got some, I'm sorry, this person has, I don't know the pronouns. This person has some days you can see, and they just have their bullets listed out like that. So rapid logging, particularly for writer Carol's method, is bullet points for tasks, circles for events, and lines for notes. You can even do stuff as complicated as, you know, question marks, exclamation points, color coding, highlighting different things in different ways to signify different things. And the nice thing about a bullet journal is that, as you can see, like, for this example at least, like, they've just gone day to day as they need. So whatever space they need, that's how much space they used, and they just logged as they needed to. And this picture might be a bit too small for you guys to see on the actual presentation, but there's a mix of, like, it goes task, event, note, you know, it gets mixed together. That is the nice thing about bullet journaling. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want, and it really doesn't matter. Just making sure I'm not missing anything in my notes because I will. I tend to go more crazy with my bullet journals whenever I do them. I go, instead of these like daily log type situations, I prefer to set up spreads, which we will get to next. Oh, you know what, guys? Pause. I spent all this time creating this great handout, and I totally forgot to shout it out at the beginning. So if you're a person who likes to have references, I made a handout. There is basically my notes for this presentation, as well as links to both Writer Carol's website, some of the other people I'm going to talk about. I've linked each and every one of these people who I borrowed their pictures from to give them credit, and they're all really, like, I was scrolling through Instagram trying to find different things, and I was having a hard time picking which pictures to use because there's so many great resources out there. So please use my handout, click the links, check out some awesome people. If you want more information about bullet journaling in general, I really encourage you to check out Instagram. That's where most bullet journalists post their work, or YouTube if they are people who like to show them actually filling them out. Go there too. So the basics, real quick. Usually you have an overview, which is a picture you saw earlier, that year at a glance spread. A future log, which is where people, it's essentially future planning. And then any kind of type of year-long tracker. So this is anything from, like, if you want to track how many days of the year you exercise, if you're tracking your weight loss, if you need to track medicine, that kind of thing. Sometimes people prefer to do it on a much larger scale. I actually might flip back and forth a little bit because I do have an example of some of these things in my own stuff. This is a bullet journal. I'm going to be sad to say this was my 2021, and I didn't so much use it in 2020. I think I got through March before I stopped bullet journaling, which is not surprising to anyone. Let me go ahead and switch over just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let me go back over to Discord. Oops, that's a little low. Oop. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, like a year-long overview. 2020 was a curveball, Mystic. You are totally right. As you can see, I have kind of, this is called a year in pixels type of grid. You can see we have the months and then the days, and then I blacked out where, the months didn't, or the days had less than they needed to. You can see I did a color code. I also changed my color code halfway through. Same for over here. I was mapping out the types of workouts I was doing, and I clearly did not get very far. I also have one. I was gung-ho on the curly girl method for a while. So I have, a section of tracking, and then I also use this page to track notes about what worked, what didn't work, why I was using a certain thing, if conditioning often helped, if it didn't help, that kind of thing. This bullet journal is a little sad because I totally did not, I just kind of let it die because 2020 happened. But, where am I? Nope, not there. The other thing that I like is, yes. Yeah, there was something that was terrible. It took me I think an hour to untangle my hair, and usually takes me about maybe a minute. So yeah, that was awful. I'm glad you saw that. So anyway, back to spreads. Those are my year-long ones. You have repeating ones, monthly pages, weekly pages, daily pages, short-term trackers for if you're working on habits for the month, and then collections. And I do apologize for switching back and forth so much, but it's easier to talk about these when I'm showing examples. For me, let's go to, I think, December. Like I always, when I full on bullet journal, I always like to do a cover page, and then I do a monthly spread. And as you can see, I'll talk about this a little bit more later, but like I'm not an artist, so I like to do stickers and stuff. That's more fun for me than trying to draw something and then hating it and wanting to turn the page. Yes, I have 2 full drawers of washi tape behind me over here that I love to use. And then as you can see here, I always do a brain dump page. I may or may not use these, but they're very helpful when I have them. And then a December review. I put this in the front just so that I don't forget to do it, because otherwise I will. And then for here, I was tracking my sleep because I was doing a very bad job of sleeping well. Like you can see, I am not consistent at all in my sleep. This is where I had my habits. So these are the habits I was working on for the month. You can see I did not well on them. Sometimes if your washi tape falls off, it's probably old. That's usually what happens. If it doesn't stick, it's probably old. Or it's the paper's too slick or something like that. But if you had washi tape does go bad. So if you're having trouble sticking it, if it tears whenever you try to pull it off the roll, it's bad and you need to just get rid of it. Unless you don't mind wrestling with it that way. There is people will just glue down washi tape when it's like that. But for me, I have so much that it doesn't really bother me. That it could also be the paper. You're right. Some paper just doesn't like it. This, if I pull it too tight, it'll just peel off because there's too much tension in the paper. Mystic. This is an Archer and Olive notebook. This is, I believe, 120 GSM. So it's very thick. Like you can see, maybe like you can see that's one page. You can see how thick it is. This paper is great if you like to do more like heavy crafting, watercolors, paints, that kind of thing. I do not, but I loved the cover. I love that it was a gilded edge. Yes, I did not pay full price for this. I was on the website looking at their prices and going, oh my goodness, I will never pay that much for a notebook. You could not make me. And then I went to the clearance section and found this one, and it was like, okay, it's the same price as a Lordstrom. I can do that. I'll splurge and get a nice notebook. Which is why I haven't gotten rid of this, because I have more than half of it left. So I might go back. Yes, this is great if you don't like bleed through or the ridging that happens on the back of the page. I happen to love that, so I'm currently using a Hobonichi. So it's definitely a personal preference. I'm trying to see if I have any other collections in here. Oh, here's another version. Again, this was actually a sticker kit, so these were all things. I bought these from, oh man, I don't remember her name. Mystic, thank you for following me. I really appreciate that. If you like these stickers, let me know, and I will go find the name at the end and put it in chat for you. But she does kits for bullet journals, so you can very easily set something up without having to be an artist and still have it look really cute. Like you can see, it was so cute. I loved this kit. Again, I have a habit tracker for my sleep. This was supposed to be my tinning list, but then I said forget that, and I just made it my tracker for my habits. I love Etsy. I have so many sticker kits from Etsy. She does do printables, but she will also print and ship them for you too. Again, these are just some daily logs. I thought I had some collections in this one. Here's a gingerbread one. Oh yeah, here we go. I started doing this particular workout program. Yes, she does do printables, and they're very cute kits. So I will find the link and post it at the end if I have time. And if not, you can shoot me a message on Discord, or I will shoot you a message on Discord. Anyway, so like, you know, you just have, this is called collection because it's something that you're tracking. And you can do the same thing with anything like that. I also have a reading challenge that I never did because, again, 2020. And I think that's basically it. So that is my last bullet journal, and then I decided I needed to change it up. Fantasy, yes you can. I tried to find my first bullet journal and I could not find it anywhere. I know it's somewhere in a box, but I haven't fully unpacked from whenever I moved almost a year ago, so I don't know where it is. But yes, you can. Like I said, those are stickers. I practiced hand lettering for like a few months and got good enough with it. Washi tape, colors, you'd be surprised about how good it looks. My handwriting is terrible, but I still think it looks cute. So anyway, back to bullet journaling and creativity and all those things. But thank you. I really appreciate the compliments. I try really hard to make mine look cute. Yes, I'm going to talk about that later in a little bit too, because I use my bullet journal as a basis, and I use the theory of bullet journaling as a basis. So as you kind of saw in my journal, there is a lot of there's a lot of variation on what a bullet journal can be. This one, I do not know how to say the handle, but their entire like feed is this beautiful. I believe they're in the Philippines, and I cannot imagine being able to make my bullet journal look like this. But as I said, you know, you can do whatever you want. It can be creative outlets. You can just use washi tape and stickers, colors. Like Shy Red Fox says, you can mix printing and printing with capital letters or no capital letters, or you can mix in hand lettering like I did in some of that. It really is what you make it. And that's the beauty of bullet journaling, is that if you don't want to be fancy, you don't have to be. If you do want to be fancy, you can go as crazy as you want. Also, thank you, Shy Red Fox. I appreciate it. So I am going a little bit slower than I need to be to get to the actual demonstration. So let's move forward. It's amazing how quickly an hour will go by. Okay, so productivity. At its core, bullet journaling is a log. But the way I use it is that I use my log, my bullet journal, or whatever I'm using at the time to track my tasks, to show how much I'm doing. Oh, thank you, Fantasine. I appreciate that. I tend to overschedule myself. And therefore I tend to not get anything done, or it may seem like I'm not getting anything done. So I really use bullet journaling in conjunction with the goal planning system that I use, to figure out what I'm doing, what's actually important to me, and what I can drop. So the nice thing about bullet journaling is because it is handwritten, you can't just copy and paste things over and over. The core concept of bullet journaling is that you're migrating things from day to day, week to week, month to month. That repetition of writing things down again can help you stop, analyze, okay, is this something that I need to do that I just am putting off? Is it something that I've been wanting to do that maybe I need to move over to my future planning for next quarter or whatever? Or should I go to a parking lot spread where I just come back to it whenever I have the time? Or my favorite one, is this serving me a purpose? If it's not, can I just get rid of it? Do I need to have this on my to-do list? If I don't, it gets crossed out like you saw at the beginning, and you don't have to worry about it ever again, which is my favorite thing because that means it's one less thing for me to do. So these logs, I also use them. So at the end of the quarter, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, I go back and see how much I did. If, for example, let me see if I can find a good week example. Yes, that's also a great use for it. So let me switch back over to show you this particular spread. So as you can see in this one, I have a lot of stuff that got checked off, like I did good. But I also have some stuff that got crossed off that I just didn't feel like doing. I did not mark it, but like this stuff got migrated obviously to the next day. And then like you can see I have my old bills. Thankfully, this is not how I train my kids anymore because I moved from Boston to Arkansas and it's been lovely. But yeah, so that's how it works. If you realize that something's not working, just get rid of it. Don't worry about it. I will also say that for me, my bullet journal, my planner, my paper system is really meant for me for in the moment today, this week, this month, this quarter. I cannot track things on paper for like the year out or next year or whatever. So I do all my future, like way future planning in Google Calendar, and then I just transfer things over whenever it's time to hit that month or hit that week. And that works for me. That may not work for you guys. You may love having everything digitally or on paper, but I just don't. It also, like you said, mistake, like I can't keep track of when I'm doing things. I have to have a schedule somewhere that I can reference it wherever I am. So if I forget my bullet journal at home, I can look at my calendar and say, okay, no, I can't do that thing on that day because I have this. The most important thing, like as I said, yes, Asana is great for long-term planning as well, especially if you're doing task management type of planning. I do that actually with my friend that I mod for. We put everything in Asana and work through that. The main thing about your bullet journal is that it can definitely be just a way to procrastinate. So if you find yourself spending too much time on the way it looks, you're probably procrastinating doing the actual things, which sometimes you need that mental break, and sometimes it's a great outlet to be able to be creative, but no pressure, because if you don't want to post it, you don't have to post it. So let's shift gears a little bit now to how I use, oops, that's the wrong screen, how I use my bullet journal as a writer. For me, like I said, I do most things digitally, and then I transfer things into whatever planner I'm using at the time. I kind of planner hop. So I have a bullet journal, I have my Hobonichi, I have a happy planner. I kind of bounce around. But how I use my planner as a writer is that I use it to make sure that I make space in my schedule for planning, for writing. And this goes all the way from a high level down to like the nitty gritty day-to-day to-do list. So I actually use something called the HB90 method by Sarah Cannon. She is an author. She does YA fantasy. She's great. She's a great mentor as well. She has her writing channel, but then she also has her like authored, like helping fellow authors advice channel too. And so one of the things that she's developed is this HB90 method, which is like basically you do all the goal setting that you normally do on a year on a quarterly basis. And for me, that just works for me because I cannot think that big picture. It doesn't work for my brain. I make these lofty goals that I'll never ever achieve in a year. And so I like to break it down into quarters. And I do have a link to all like more information on her if you want that in the handout. I won't dive too deeply in it because we are, I do want to do some actual planning with you guys, so I want to get into that quickly. So actually, outside the actual like planning and like scheduling it into my planner and saying, okay, I'm writing on these days for this amount of time. I use my planners to create everything from character arcs or interviews, location, brainstorming, histories, basically anything you think you might want to keep track of. I put it in my plotting planner that I referenced up there. I wish I had my old one. I lost it and I'm so heartbroken about it where I moved. So I'm currently working on creating a new one, which I will show you the like bare bones of it. But nothing's really set up yet because again, I haven't had the time to actually do it, which makes me so sad. So I have used everything from an old happy planner to a hardbound notebook for this kind of thing. For me, I personally like using a happy planner, which I can show you. This one might be a little bit too big to fit like in my actual view, but let's see. Can I make you higher? Yes, I can. Okay. So you can see I have unlabeled sections, but here's my planning pages for the rest of the year. You can see, yes, I did not plan last quarter because it was just not a good time for me on other levels. But you can see I have all of those printed out, ready to go, so that whenever I do get back to it, I have them ready. I've got some notes from books that I read here, like craft books, and then I have a little like planning help again, like I said, because this is a new setup and not much is actually done in here. But you can see like I have, okay, here, I do have one done. Like I did my main character, Emlyn is her name. I did like this like question for her, and there's a ton of questions in here. I answered them all, and this is where this is where I go if I need to have some references. And I think those are the main things that I have in here still. Yes. So unfortunately I had more to show you, but this was just like an unfortunate accident that happened and I lost my original one. But I did link several references in the handout for you to look at, some if you want to go more in depth into planning like that. Okay, but since this is bullet journaling, I thought it would be fun to do a spread. So I have some ideas, and I thought I'd let you guys choose what you want to see the most. I am just going to throw it in this one, so it won't be like a super elaborate spread, but we can do whatever you'd like to do. If there's anything you really want to see, I have an example of one that I already did for Nano. This is how I set up my word tracker. Yes, I have a lot of journals. So this is my word tracker for the 50K. This, you can see I fill in every 1,000 words. I can fill in a little thing. And like I said, this is very simple. There are some very elaborate ones which are like, you know, a picture, like a drawing of a road, you know, like a actual journey that you go on to get your words, or like every flower petal is a certain amount, etc., etc. Okay, well, yes, I'm sure if you like looked at my, I also have so many like blank journals, and this thing over here, there's a lot of blank ones that I will be playing with in the future. But so this is my like word count spread. I have an example of how I do, not here, in, I was in this week's, yes, I love how simple this is. It's easy to see. I actually was doing this not for NaNoWriMo. I was just trying to hit 50,000 words in addition, like added to my manuscript, because I feel like it needs about that much more. So this is like each month, this is how much I actually wrote. I switch colors every month. And that way I know, like, I think this was like February, March, and April, I want to say. So you can see how much I actually did each month. But I also tracked my sprints. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if it's in this one. No, it's in, this is what happened when you switch planners so often. On the days that I write, I will do things like, okay, hold on, let me find it first because so like for this one, like I just track my sprints over here and give myself a total. And this is a great way to like use whatever you're already using and just finding a space in it. This is like, you can't really tell, but this is like a kind of like boxed off square that I just use for sprints whenever I'm writing. And again, this is how I do my bullet journaling in this Hobonichi, is I just use these daily pages to do whatever I need to do. You can see there's a lot of days in here where I did not do anything. Here's a different format. I also like make notes of like whenever I get followers or raids or anything like that. And yeah, here are some like more elaborate ones where I actually use colors and washi tape and that kind of thing. Again, that's what I love about bullet journaling in this style, is that if you don't like what you're doing, you can always change it. Or if what you're doing gets boring, you can always change it. Yeah, so what do you guys want to do? I can also just pick something and kind of show you the process of how I figure out what to do for a spread. For example, I don't really have a current like editorial spread idea, but I can show you how I figured that out, if that would be something that's helpful. Let me know. I will pause and let you guys figure out what you want. Do you want like a tracker mystic, or do you want something that like a tracker for like I did for this, or would you like for the word tracking thing, or would you like an actual like writery, like let's say I want to make a tracker on okay, for an editorial spread, my thoughts for that were, let me find a blank page in here. My thought for that was like tracking where I am in the process, which would be fairly simple. That is okay, Mystic. I understood what you were trying to say. If we have, like, we may have time, this probably would not take me that much time to actually do, because my thought process was very simple. And I'm just going to use, so I don't have to worry about figuring out a color scheme, I'm just going to use my gray marker. And I always use a ruler. This one's kind of like floppy, so sometimes I don't like it. I have a like more like plasticky one somewhere else that I use. And you know what? We are going to use, I don't know if you can't really see these. These are my washi tape drawers. I'm going to use my book washi tape because appropriate. Here's a blue one too. We can use this. Yes, I love this one. This is like my go-to and I don't know what else to use, but I figure, you know, we can add a splash of color with that too. I also, if I have one handy, yes. I am terrible about like, I don't do well at like, just like freehanding things. So I like to like map it out a little bit. So we're gonna give myself a little bit of space for a header, just so I don't go over that. If I knew where my purple was, I would totally use purple for you, Shy Red Fox. But I don't think. What about like lilac-y purple? It's kind of a gray. We'll see. We'll see how we feel. Okay, so my thought for an editorial spread would be something that is tracking where I am in the writing process. So again, this is going to be very simple, but I will show you how I do it. So I would say one very handy thing in my planner is I always have a grid spacing cheat sheet. This is an idea that I got from Annabellewrites Lee, who's one of the biggest YouTubers, Bujo or planner YouTubers on the site. But I don't remember who she got it from. She one of her videos credits it, but I couldn't tell you which one. Anyway, because I always forget how many dots I have or how many spaces I have, and I hate counting them. So I just make this up. Or I just do this every time. I think I'm gonna do like 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for like the title of the project. And then what are the stages? Oh, that's so sad. This one is the N45. This is the darker gray one. It's this one. I think it's this one. So it's a little bit darker, but I like it. Okay, so let's see. We got 0 draft, initial edits, alpha readers, edits, beta readers, final edits, and then like promo stuff like cover art and that kind of thing. Those would be the 7 things I would want to track. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That does not divide evenly. That's annoying. We're just going to do 2 and 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got a little bit extra on the end. So boom, we're done. We're ready to like start writing. I like to do this part in like black ink just because it's easier for me to see. And again, I cannot for the life of me freehand straight lines, so I always use a ruler. And then I have kind of an idea for this side of the page, but I want to get this like mapped out first before we go over to the other side. The key to clean straight lines like this, which of course I messed that one up, is really it's going slow. You can't go fast, or you'll bump the ruler and it'll smudge, or you'll move it too soon and then the ink will smear, and it's just bad. That's one of the things I like about this particular journal is that because it's so thick, it all absorbs very nicely. I think this is a Papermate Flare, and it dries almost instantly, which is nice for my left-handedness. Okay, and then I think I am gonna do kind of like a diagonal. Here. There. Sorry if I'm not like looking up, because this, I will get distracted and then I will mess up. Okay. So for this side of the page, I'm going to keep this pretty plain, just because my concentration is going to be on tracking. This would be great if you're a poet or a short story, if you tend towards more short form fiction, or if you're like working on blog posts for your author blog that we all totally have, or your Instagram captions or something like that. That is another way that I incorporate bullet journaling into my productivity, is that I use it whenever I need to make something to keep me on like in line, you know. Because, you know, we're all supposed to post on Instagram and do the blog and do all the other things and stream on Twitch and blah, blah, blah. So I actually think let's do a little bit of color. And this is really kind of quick and dirty. I'm just gonna write them in. Oh, what's a good word for that? Formatting, I guess. I guess I'd call it formatting. So this would be like I said, cover art, formatting it for the e-reader if you're doing that. That kind of thing. So then I would use this tracker. Oh, I do need to do. I would use this tracker for seeing how long it takes me to do a certain thing, like to take a project from beginning to end, so that I can better schedule myself in the future. That way, if I have 3 or 4 projects by the time this is filled up, and I see that it takes me, I may finish 0 draft on like November 10th, but then my first editing pass takes me a month, and then it takes my alpha reader, you know, another 2 weeks to get it through, and then my second editing pass takes another month. Like you can see, I'm quickly building up to like a 3 to 6 month process, and that way I know if I were writing full time, I could churn out X number of books a year in theory if I could follow this particular method. Which I don't know about you, but that is theory never translates into real life for me. And I'm just gonna do a quick little there, and then we're gonna take this guy and sorry, I couldn't figure out if I was doing this upside down or not. We're gonna do it across the bottom here on this page just to kind of give it a border. And I usually like to do a little bit more of like a ripped edge. I just think that looks more fun than a clean edge. So then on this side, I'm going to take this one. Where's my... Actually, that's not big enough. Oh. And look at that, it's 5 till. I didn't even, whew, that passed very quickly. So I'll sketch this in with pencils so you guys can see it. What I would do is I would create a couple of boxes for like number of projects. And then I would do a little bit, like probably like a little graph. That's probably is enough space, but like I would do a little graph here of like number of months. And then the project title to give myself some data to work with. And then what else would I need? I probably would want to put some sort of like performance metrics here. Because I work primarily with from the lens of self-publishing, so I would need to track my own performance. And then this I'd rather like leave blank, or I'd put a sticker here or something like that. I hope that was helpful. I know that was kind of really fast. Does this make sense? Did we like it? Did we feel like this was a waste of time? Let me know. We do have about 3 minutes, so while chat is catching up, I usually have a little bit of a delay in my stream. I'll leave this open for you guys to look at. Thank you, I appreciate that. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I know this was kind of, yes. I use this for all kinds of things. This kind of like layout, this kind of editing projects. I even use it for like my social media posts. Whatever I need some sort of like tracker for, I throw it in something like this, and then I can come back and refer to it. Yuri, okay, well, good. I'm glad you appreciate it. I'm glad you got something out of it. I really hope that the handout helps. Yuri, if you did not get that, I can throw that in the chat real quick. There are links in there to further, to diving deeper into things. An hour is really not enough time to like really talk about bullet journaling and productivity and how I incorporate all that into writing all in one. But I really thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this stream. We are going to continue the CONduit and go check out Benji from Tail Foundry is doing an Ask Me Anything stream. Looks like it's going to be really cool. Let me see if he is live yet. Let me switch over to I do something like this every Sunday, Shy Red Fox. I plan out my week every single Sunday. Right now, I need to check my phone because my iPad is dead. I plan out my week. If I'm not doing something like the actual like this kind of thing, I'm using my Hobonichi, wherever that went, and I'm doing stuff like that, or I get real crazy and do stickers sometimes. And then of course, like whenever I'm on my game, I do, at the end of the quarter, I do prepping streams for the next quarter. You can see my Kanban board behind me a little bit. That calendar is usually full of my editorial stuff. So I do. Every Sunday I'm usually here doing something planner or productive related. Let me pull up Twitch, turn off my sound. Let me make sure he's live already before we go over there. It does not look like he is live yet. So we have a couple more minutes if we have some final questions. He does look like he's... I'm sorry if I'm using the wrong pronouns. They do not look like they are quite live yet. And I think that's where we're supposed to go. Let me... Ooh, ice cream's a good idea. I am very hot, so I would love some ice cream. I always get hot when I'm nervous. Thank you, Mystic, for hanging out with me. And I hope you found something useful. If you ever have questions, I love talking about bullet journaling and productivity and systems and like helping you work through goals. I didn't even go through any of that because I knew I wouldn't have time. But if you ever get stuck, I would love to help you figure out how to make things work for yourself. That's the beauty of bullet journaling, is that it's unique to you. All right, so if you don't know, the raid message is continuing the CONduit. Yes, I do plan to do them. I'm trying to think, like I do kind of bullet journal in this, like I showed you. I just I got tired of creating everything by hand myself, so I went to something a little bit more structured, but I still bullet journal. And if you ever want to see something, I am happy to help you figure out how to make it work. And I can do it live on stream like I did with that one. I need to open up Discord because he's they're still not live and it is 3:02, so I'm wondering if I have the wrong... Do I have the wrong person? I thought I did not. Let me mute this so that it doesn't... sorry guys, he's not, I don't think they're live, and I'm not sure if I'm sending you to the wrong thing or not. Oh. Now he's there. Okay, they're live now. Whew! Moment of panic. Okay. Let's get raid going. Again, thank you guys for joining me. Let's head over there and say hi to Benji. I think it'll be an interesting panel, so I'm looking forward to it. Please feel free to reach out to me on... Oh, hold on. Are you not going to let me raid? Please feel free to reach out to me on Discord. My name's the same over there. Let me do it this way because apparently it doesn't want to do anything. I'm going to do it on my phone so that it will pop up. Because I don't see it. Am I doing it wrong? Yes, I'm doing it wrong. Oh my goodness, guys. It's a slash, not a... Yeah. I'm a pro, guys. I'm a pro streamer. It's fine. Anyway, Discord, hit me up there. I usually have it open, or I usually have it on my phone. Thank you, awesome. I love you too. Okay, bye guys. Thanks for joining me.
And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to Writers CONduit 2020.